This hack will pretty much change your life. How to automate anything.
And here is the greatest technological pairing that I have ever found. So here we're on the NA10 canvas. I'm going to pick a very common use case, at least for me and potentially for a lot of people viewing. But in this case, I want to scrape the words off of a web page. Now, there's a few different ways that you can do that. You can make an API call to something like AppyHub, but that costs money. You could also use a software program like Puppeteer, but that requires a little bit of coding chops. The easiest way to do it is just to extract everything from the page. Then it's kind of a jumbled mess, and I'll show you what I mean. So we'll start with a form trigger. And we'll put in a field for URL. So if we test this step, we can put test URL in there. And then if we do an HTTP GET request to a URL, check out what happens. We'll use AI plus automation for this test. You see, everything was extracted from the page, but it is a jumbled mess of HTML and tags and URLs and menu items and a ton of things that aren't useful. Like, you can't do anything with this. So here is the unlock. Here is the hack. Go to Claude. All right, so here I've come to Claude, and I'm asking Claude Sonnet 3.5. I'm working on an NA10 workflow. I need to scrape text from a web page. This is how I'm extracting the web page information. Here is what is in that information. Here's an example of the output. And this is what I need. I need you to strip out all of that and leave me only the text. And then I actually added a code node. This is what I'm going to use. But here is an example of the code format NA10 accepts, because sometimes the function will be something that keeps failing. So this is a good way to make sure that Claude writes the function in a way that NA10 understands. All right, so here is the first code function that we get from Claude. And this is really easy. We just put it in here and we test. And look, document is not defined. So we come back and we say, I got this error. Test it again. This is the new code. And here we have the original data and then a new table, extracted text. And this is the text on the page with all this stripped out. And that's just one example of a use case. I use Claude to write functions regularly for things that maybe there isn't a native integration for in NA10, or if perhaps it's a prohibitively expensive service when I could just have Claude write a function that does it for me. And this is the unlock to ensuring that you can pretty much automate anything.